Let's get into the Q&A, man. And this first one comes from Nick Galana. Galana? You think that's right?
Yeah,
Gelona? Galana?
I think that's right.
All right. And this is a good question. I like this one. If you could pick any three teams from the SEC for OU to play every year, excluding Texas, which three teams would you choose? So remember, it's going to be a 16-team league
Mm-hmm.
when OU and Texas get there. So for a reminder, in the West, you've got Bama, LSU, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Arkansas, Auburn, and A&M. And in the East, you've got Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, Missouri, and Vanderbilt. So our man Nick wants us to pick any three. I'll let you go first. What do you think?
Well, kind of what I've done is I've broken it down into categories a little bit because it's not realistic to say that I'd like to play Georgia, Bama, and LSU every year, right? So you got to take one from that group: Bama, LSU, Georgia. I'd like to play LSU every year. I think and I know this is probably a one-sided thing since they beat us in the national championship and then beat us in 2019. But there's a lot of pent up anger with LSU from Sooner fans. And I think that could turn into an awesome yearly situation. Maybe turns into a horrible yearly situation, but I think that would be good. The next group to me is kind of semi-local, and I know A&M is still really far away, but I had A&M, Arkansas, and Missouri as schools that are fairly close. And of those, I think it's just natural with Arkansas. So I'd go LSU, Arkansas, and then for a far trip, I think South Carolina sounds awesome. It looks like they've got a great fan base. They're not the greatest. I mean, they're a good, solid team that's coming up. It's a quality opponent, but you're not facing a team that is number one in recruiting year in, year out. So I think I'd go LSU, Arkansas, and South Carolina.
I'm with you. Now, let me make one thing very clear. If we just want OU to win games,
Right.
give me Vanderbilt, give me Missouri, and then who would be your, if we're just talking, hey, let's let OU rack up 3 wins. Who would be the third choice right now? With how, and things change over time, clearly, but
A&M?
Florida, Arkansas, A&M, but A&M's got talent, right, with the way that they've recruited. So I don't know, would it be Arkansas? Especially they lost a lot of coaches, they lost some players.
Probably be Arkansas. Because they've made a little 2-year run here where they've been a good, solid football team, but over the last 15 years or so, maybe not quite 15 years, at least a decade, they haven't been very good.
I think you've talked me into South Carolina, and I do like the Shane Beamer connection. I know he's not going to be there for forever, right? But just for right here, right now, that would make it a whole lot of fun.
Yeah,
at least for me and you.
Oh yeah, I think. I don't think I've ever been to South Carolina.
I just went. We went to Charleston last year for the first time ever. And of course, Shane Beamer DM'd me. Was like, dude, you're in South Carolina and you didn't let me know. I was like, that's why you're the best, man. That's why he's the best. But I've never been to Columbia, and that place gets going.
Yeah.
And
there's not many places that don't get going.
That's true.
Especially when the big schools are coming to town.
I was thinking maybe Florida, but I'd rather have South Carolina than Florida.
Yeah.
I think Columbia is supposed to be really cool. It's supposed to be a really cool city. And I think OU fans, that would be just one hell of an environment. And would South Carolina, are they going to be better than Florida moving forward? They certainly were better than them this season.
I think it's too early to tell on Florida. I mean, Florida's got more historical potential, but Beamer seems to have it going pretty well, man. They find ways to win scrappy games. You know, and I got to tell you, like, I hate taking Tennessee out of there because that Tennessee trip was incredible.
I say South Carolina was better than Florida. I'm pretty sure Florida beat their ass.
They did. They lost, I think, did they lose to Missouri and Florida?
Yeah, it was bad. And then they finished up the way that they did, and everyone was like,
Right.
wait, what?
Yeah.
So maybe it would be, maybe South Carolina is not only a fun matchup, but it's also a fun place for fans to go to an away game, but it's also pretty damn winnable each and every year.
Yeah. So have we settled on anything?
I'm in. I think my three would be South Carolina, LSU, and Arkansas.
Okay. Then we agree.
What quick question for you. How do you feel about trading LSU for Tennessee?
Fine.
Heupel just signed the big extension. I'm just looking at kind of the near future, right? Yeah. Heupel just signed the long extension. That storyline would be fun each and every year.
You didn't go to that game, did you?
No, I was still playing in the NFL.
Incredible.
My wife went and she was like, it was insane.
It was awesome. It's the best road game for OU that I've ever been to, and it's not even close. Ohio State, not even close.
So
it was a great game too, which helps, obviously.
Yeah. Are we going LSU, South Carolina, Arkansas, or do we want to get Tennessee in there?
Tennessee's fine. I'll do Tennessee.
But I don't want to listen. If Tennessee, first of all, kind of seems like they got it rolling.
Well, hey,
but LSU,
Tennessee's one thing. Like, it's the risk reward is very high with LSU.
I was about to say, I think I'd rather have Tennessee every year than LSU.
If you're absolutely stuck dealing with LSU fans every year, maybe that's not a good idea. Let's Tennessee, Ark, South Carolina.
Okay, it is settled. Great question, Nick.
Good question. The good thing is right now, since we don't have much history with many of these schools, almost any three answers is right.
In all seriousness, if I could pick one school for OU to play every single year in the SEC, I think I would pick Vanderbilt. It's basically a guaranteed win. And then we get to go to Nashville every other year. You kidding me?
That'd be awesome.
That would be, OU fans would love that. That would be awesome. Now, would the games be great? Probably not, but who cares? There's nothing wrong with getting an easy win.
Maybe they're going to be the best program in the country.
Clark Lee did say that.
Right.
That happened.